partly because of FM being very broken. I can't really play or record FM if it's broken. But moving on, we're in Germany for a new save with RB Leipzig, a quite divisive club in some ways. The fans don't like them in Germany, so we're going to be here to turn them and make them be liked by the public. The reason they're not liked we'll go into in a second, but let's look at some history about RB Leipzig. They were bought by Red Bull in 2009, or the rights of, but or the rights they're known is known in Germany, from a club called SFC Markranstadt. Red Bull Leipzig will broke records in the time they took to get to the Bundesliga. It took them six/7 seasons to get them to the Bundesliga, reaching the Bundesliga in 2016-17 season. In their very first season, managed by Ralph Hasenhüttl, the former Southampton manager, he would later go on to manage Southampton, but he was the Leipzig manager. They would finish second in their first ever season in the Bundesliga. He would depart in the summer of 2018. He would later be replaced by the current Germany boss and Bayern boss, Julian Nagelsmann, which they would get him from Hoffenheim. Leipzig did. He was quite an up and coming coach then, and then he was replaced by Marco Rosa. The club is quite well known for the high pressing system displayed by those three managers they got. Yeah, and they also brought through young talent. They bought Timo Werner, Naby Keita. That was just from their first season alone in the Bundesliga when they finished second. Them two would later go on to play for Liverpool in Naby Keita and Timo Werner for Chelsea. They would also reach Champions League semi-final in 2020. Also, in recent years, they would do a domestic double in the DFL Pokal, which is the equivalent to FA Cup in England. They would win it in 2022 and 2023, which is impressive. But in recent years, they've struggled. They're finishing. I think they're going to finish third this season in the league. But that ain't where they were 10 years ago. They were finishing second. So they've been jumped by a few clubs, most notably Leverkusen, who won a league title in that time. That should have been RB Leipzig. But let's move on to the tactic, because that's the most interesting part. I've tried to adopt a bit of everybody who's managed Leipzig. The Ralf Rangnick, who got them promoted to the Bundesliga, his high pressing philosophy. I've tried to adapt Nagelsmann's flexibility. I've tried to perfect Hasenhüttl's perfection. Right, I'll show you the tactic. This is what it looks like in possession, and this is what it looks like out of possession. Let's talk about the out of possession stuff first, because that's the less interesting of the two, shall we? We're trying to get this pressing system right. So let's go out of possession. So it creates a 4-2-4 with Baumgartlinger, who starts in this like led central midfield role. He joins the team essentially. He joins the front line when we have our striker in possession, Romelu, who drops deep. As words, will trigger press much more often. Will counter press. The only thing left is stand tackle. We'll also we'll press the goalkeeper. We'll set up in a mid block, and low block we'll try and avoid. Now here comes the fun part, the in possession. We are going to start in a 4-3-3, wing back asymmetric. So basically, we're in a 4-3-3, but the left wing their left back's more advanced to be more of a winning back. Van der Vaart starting goal for us. It's only because back 35. Still good goalkeeper, and we'll use him as a number 2, and he's capable backup. And if Van der Vaart's playing poor, we could also just bring Peter Glacier in. We're going to start with Redvan Baku as our right back, and we're going to tell him to invert with the ball. So, in possession, we do create this pivot with Seawild, which I'll explain in a minute. He's very good on the ball, he's pacey, he's got great work rate, great off the ball, so he'll know when to come into the midfield, not come into the midfield. He's also got instructions to sit narrower, take fewer risks, run a few. So just keep it safe. Our centre backs are basically centre backs. They won't do nothing too special. I think Lukeba, when he's back, will stay wider. So we know we've got Seawell in front of him. But Lukeba's injured at the minute. He's out 5 weeks to 2 months, so we won't see him for a little while. Klosterman's out for 2 to 5 weeks. He's our longest servant at the club. Unless Peter Galassi will give him a run for his money, I assume. No, Peter Galassi is our longest serving player. Or did they join at the same time? Klosterman. No, it's Galassi. So Galassi is our longest serving player, and then followed by Klosterman. Klosterman's going to be out for 5 to 2 weeks. Benjamin Henrichs on a while is going to be out for 4 to 5 months, so we won't see him until maybe start of February. Other than that, let's move into the midfield. No, but I forgot to speak about David Round. This is the interesting part. David Round is probably the best attacking left back on the game. He's got 17 crossing, 16 off the ball, 17 determination, 17 teamwork, 17 work rate, and great 16 and 17 stamina. So he's great going up and down. So we're going to use him to that stretch. His instructions will just simply be stay wide, make more runs forward, and I ain't going to give him more of a Pacific strategy. So some games I might tell him to cross from the byline, but that all depends on who we're playing. So buying that might help, but we don't know yet. In the mid, our only 6 is Seawold. I'm going to start developing Seawold because Schlager ain't going to sign a new contract with us. Joey Schlager, very good player, but won't sign a new contract with us. I've already tried. Seawold has the potential to be way better than Schlager. We did buy him from our affiliate team essentially, RB Salzburg, who just come through their academy, where he's played, this will be his 3rd season, he's played 21 games in 30 games respectively. He's a complete 6. He's only 5'11", but his height doesn't need to really be a killer on that, because he's got great tackling, great teamwork, great work rate, great aggression, great stamina, and good natural fitness as well. So that is how we're going to deploy. So we're going to have Baku come in, be more of a passer, but really this double pivot's only for the build-up, which will be shown in a second. Osan Udrago, a well-known wonder kid in Football Manager. He wants to be attacking midfielder / attacking playmaker, or advanced playmaker, sorry. We're going to use him as a channel midfielder. His crossing does let him down, but in every other stat, he is perfect to do so. His instructions is to, don't think I gave him, move into the channels. So he will be support in Diamondo, which I'll explain to you. Bolt Gunner is, you got any? Nope. Yeah, just take more risk in a pass, which is fine. Jan Diamonde, We're going to try and build our system around Yan Diamonde and Antonio Nusa, so our two wingers, essentially. We're telling him to stay wide and roam from position, so try and get involved in play, but also try and stretch the pitch. So he has license throwing, but also you can stretch the pitch. So we've got width. Antonio Nusa, on the other hand, I'll show his stats. He is much more reliable near goal. He's 6 foot. He's predominantly right foot, so tell him a cut coming off the left is his benefit. Might score a few goals off a round cross. On the defending, who's C1? Show starting 11. Yan Diamonde. Yeah, so we've got Yan Diamonde, who's lightning to help get away with our attacks. Right, what is going to be our transfer strategy now? That'll be a good question. We are going to try and bring in young players, unknown players essentially. We've already thrown in a bid for a player. He's on for an end of contract. His name's Kata Duai. I like some of his stats. He's 6'1", he's right footed, playing right back, so he could probably invert. He can play left back as well. He can also play CDM, so Seawald's position. We've also on our shortlist looking at Alex Scott, because I think he's a perfect Red Bull Leipzig signing. He can play DM, he can play attacking, mid, he can also play central midfield. Could do a job on the right. I'm also going to look for this guy from next episode potentially. His name's Kota. He'll be a very good player and football manager. Next season we're definitely going to try and improve on our fourth line. That does depend if Lois Appendon comes back though. We done right. I'm also going to look for this guy from next episode potentially. His name's Kota Shamida. He's wanted by a few players at teams who are big in a good big team at the end of his contract. So we're going to look at him at the end of his contract. Players in Japan or in Asia do have their contracts run out. I believe in January. So we would get these players for January so they could make an impact on the season. But we are light in a few positions. So there will be hopefully a little bit of activity on the transfer front in this 3 weeks we got. But if players like Nusa ain't performing, we can just sub them out, because we do have quality like Jonathan Bakayoko, who's everything that Nusa and Diamonde is, but he's a little bit more faster but unpredictable in certain situations. Also, Brian Gruder, we do have him online for Brian. We'll see how he does, and if he does well, we will buy him, because he usually turns out to be a very good player and football manager. Next season, we're definitely going to try and improve on our fourth line. That does depend if Lois Appendon comes back though. We don't have a very tall team either, so a bit of height won't hurt. But we do need a left winger, and we are just lacking a bit of squad depth. The players they did let go in the summer was, they've sold quite a few players. They sold Benjamin Sesko to Man United, obviously. Xavi Simons to Tottenham, so he was one of the main creative threats that's gone. Ilax Mariba, don't think he ever really played for RB Leipzig. 6 clubs. Nah, he didn't really play. So they bought him, they've loaned him out to Valencia. Then he was at Valencia for 2 seasons, came back, went on loan to Getafe, Vigo, and then Vigo bought him for 5 million. But I want to know how much they bought Xavi Simons for. They bought him for 44. sold him for 52, so they still made profit on him. They bought Benjamin Sesko for cheap, didn't they? Yeah, 20 million they bought him from RB Leipzig. Scored 14 goals and 13, and Man United bought him for 66 mil. And then they just let like a few regulars or older players who've been at the club a few years, such as Amadou Hadara, Yusuf Poulsen, who would have been a great third choice striker. He would have been. He's been there years. He's been there since Bundesliga dry. So he's been there since the third, when they were in the third division from Limby. He's never actually scored more than 7 goals in 7 seasons since 18-19. But then he really didn't score much. The only time he went back to back double digits was in the third division and then second division. So he wasn't really a clinical finisher. He was more of a player that there would usually be a threat in and occupy players. Switch, it's only been there a couple of seasons, so I didn't really lose a key player there. But we do have a bit of a rebuild job on our hand. But we do have players like Benduzi, who's young, so he could contribute. Romelu, they got from Groschup. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do. The finances is the last thing we'll talk about. Is looking really good. They're saying we could only get like 36 million by the end of next season, which is a bit of a concern, but we'll have to deal with it. On the final topic is Almeida finished. They're predicting 4th. Okay. And our first game of the season is against a Bayern Munich side in real life, just got knocked out of the Champions League, but are on fire. So we're going to have to be careful. We're going to have to be on job. Come back for that episode tomorrow, because I'll record this, put it straight up, and then you're going to enjoy. We'll have Bayern. We'll play 2 games. We'll play Bayern and Heidenheim. So that'll be interesting. I don't think we got Champions League this season, but we'll see when we get closer to the time. I'll go off and play Emmerich Braunschweig and Torino, but that'll be all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, as I said at the start, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.